Humanity has accumulated vast knowledge yet remains ensnared by ancestral ideologies rooted in an us versus them mentality. It's crucial to realize that we must evolve beyond this curse to progress further, especially as our technological prowess outpaces our emotional and primal instincts. Today, we understand that our primal dominance correlates with issues such as racism, gender bias, and prejudice, plagues inherited from our primitive past. Despite modern civilization, conflicts persist, making it impossible to tally the casualties of our divisive mindset. Consider our so-called elite spiritual leaders from religious backgrounds. Even monks are not immune to the politics of group identity. Worldwide, religious groups preach compassion and spiritual wisdom, yet their internal politics often betray these ideals. Religious zeal often trumps genuine compassion. They speak of spirituality, justice, and judgment day, yet don't hesitate to commit atrocities in pursuit of their political agendas. Belief in God should not justify extremism in ideology. Each person must address life's challenges as an independent entity, guided by the golden rule of treating others as you wish to be treated. There's no need to defend God from non-believers, it's purely political. Trust that God can manage divine matters without human intervention. Asserting God's omnipotence while committing violence in God's name raises fundamental questions. Ask yourself, what drives the need to act as God's defender? Is it truly a desire to protect God, or a compulsion to conform, impress, and gain approval from your group? Punishing others for not adhering to religious rules reflects a lack of trust in God's will. Causing harm or damage, whether to property or life, is a spiritual transgression, as no one desires to suffer from others' actions. It's our personal responsibility to distinguish spirituality from politics and to resist joining mobs that harm innocents. The urge to belong is deeply ingrained in human psychology, driven by chemical reactions, yet individuals must exert control over these impulses. Refusing to join a cause may be seen as weakness by your group, but resisting primal urges requires greater strength. While we cannot deny our animal instincts, our spiritual side should guide our actions as evolved beings. Being human is a privilege endowed with godlike abilities for each of us. When religious leaders prescribe prayers for material gain, they manipulate believers' faith and jeopardize their belief in God's existence. Adhering faithfully and finding prayers unanswered can lead to doubt and even atheism. Such disillusionment with spiritual guidance should not be taken lightly. Humanity has yet to evolve beyond the curse of political group identity because we often fail to recognize it as a fundamental issue. From childhood, we are indoctrinated with identity politics, which becomes ingrained in our minds and influences our hormonal responses. Critically assessing this mindset with logic can seem illogical unless we teach children from an early age to identify as part of humanity as a whole, rather than solely by color, race, gender, nationality, or religion. The most effective remedy humanity has devised so far is equal human rights. These rights not only correct past wrongs but also serve as logical antidotes to the prejudices passed down through generations. Our us versus them mentality is the root of the problem and poses a significant barrier to human evolution. As individuals, we can begin correcting this from within, one person at a time. If we continue on our current path, we will never achieve the elusive peace humanity has sought for millennia. Nationalism and extreme religious allegiance have ultimately failed because they impose politics from the top down, whereas true change must start from the bottom up. We must understand and change ourselves individually to combat the powerful influence of group identity, which affects us hormonally. No matter how you analyze it, humans must evolve spiritually to belong to humanity as a whole. Otherwise, we will remain entangled in prejudiced and discriminatory politics tied to group identities. Until we collectively convince individuals that they are more than extensions of race, gender, nationality, or ideology, we will suffer both individually and collectively. Each person must realize they are the CEO of their own life and bear the responsibility to effect positive change. Let's begin by posing this question. I encourage each of us to ask ourselves this in private, devoid of political or emotional bias. Think deeply and logically before responding. Ask yourself, what would be the ultimate injustice committed against you or your loved ones? Opinions may vary, but to me, being punished for something you are 100% innocent of is the ultimate crime. Look back through human history and even into today, and observe how we and our ancestors have treated each other. At the top of the list is the killing of innocents based solely on appearance, beliefs, or affiliations. When I say innocents, I mean those born into a particular race, color, nation, or religious belief without any choice. They are innocent until proven guilty of a crime or sin against others. Imagine if our justice systems punished people simply for resembling or sharing religious beliefs with a wrongdoer. It would be grossly unjust, given the millions who share similar appearances or affiliations. True justice dictates that only the individual who commits a crime should be held accountable, a principle upheld by every religion. We are responsible for our own actions and will face consequences accordingly, be it heaven or hell. So where does this logic vanish when it comes to the politics of belonging? Our justice systems and individual spiritual beliefs should oversee our actions, but instead, nationalist and religious indoctrination often dominate early education in society, highly politicized. If we fail to recognize the strength of our personal sense of justice and spiritual nature, our ignorance can harm us individually. Politics is a concept taught by our groups, but spirituality and personal integrity are innate to us from birth. When these clash, inner conflict can lead to loss of motivation, happiness, and life satisfaction, luxuries we as mortals cannot afford to lose. As mortal beings, we shoulder immense responsibility. Not only must we navigate external political pressures, but we must also harness our internal critic effectively. Failing to balance these demands may lead to dependence on others and a loss of true identity, potentially driving us to commit crimes or sins in the name of group affiliation, all observed by the critic within us. Just as each food has its own taste and chefs often combine ingredients to create new flavors, if it's good, it sells, if it's bad, it doesn't. Some tastes become so popular that people enjoy adding their own twists. From traditional foods to the customs of human societies, to governance and worship, our world is rich in diversity, yet the quest for improvement never ceases. We don't merely follow the evolution of tastes. We have been and still are striving for better outcomes in all aspects of our lives. It's an ongoing journey. Human societies have continually sought better governance, which naturally leads to differing opinions. Initially, this pushes people out of their comfort zones. Clash of cultures, defensive resistance, and wars may ensue, but eventually, people learn to coexist. They blend and mix, similar to foods. Sometimes it's a poor mix leading to perpetual conflict. Other times, the new blend tastes better than their old ways of living, especially when spiritual tolerance and acceptance replace the politics of group belonging. Society benefits from blending knowledge and a higher level of individual autonomy, fostering transformative change. Some Western societies are described as melting pots because they encompass people from all corners of the globe, with diverse colors, nationalities, and belief systems. With democracies and equal human rights, they tend to thrive, despite current waves of protectionism. They have cultivated a taste for equal human rights that appeals to a broad spectrum of people. If group politics prevail and they compromise on equal human rights, they risk losing the benefits gained from attracting talent worldwide. Having benefited from brain drain worldwide, these societies have evolved faster and farther than their counterparts, necessitating the preservation of their values. People desire to move to Western nations not only for financial reasons but also for freedom and security. With the internet, change happens swiftly. Today, news spreads instantly. Every war and conflict sends waves of refugees from war-torn areas to Western societies. These nations serve as sanctuaries, especially for those fleeing oppressive regimes. When individuals migrate, they bring their contributions to enrich their adopted societies. When I express my opinion, it acknowledges the possibility of error. In my view, those leaving oppressive societies are often courageous individuals, sacrificing their current conditions for a chance to improve their futures and change their living circumstances. It's beneficial to have success-oriented people congregating in one place because a higher concentration of driven individuals not only enriches themselves but also enhances the societies they join. However, being alpha can bring personal challenges. Where alphas gather, social issues may arise, such as establishing dominance even in personal relationships, contrary to the principles of equal human rights. Job dissatisfaction can lead to unacceptable subordination, causing individual discontent, which ultimately affects society. Progress in certain areas may create deficiencies in others. Alpha parents may raise alpha children, leading to interpersonal dominance struggles. The pursuit of happiness should be paramount in every mortal's life. While wealth may bring one form of happiness and popularity another, true self-awareness helps determine what truly matters. Consider living in an oppressive society where expressing oneself freely is restricted. Regardless of wealth, true happiness may remain elusive. Conversely, having freedom without the means to enjoy it may also leave one discontented. Therefore, the pursuit should always prioritize happiness. Understanding the type of wealth that brings satisfaction guides the path one should take. Ideally, individuals achieve inner and outer peace, happiness, and contentment. Regardless of life's successes, the ideal package remains incomplete without physical, psychological, emotional, and spiritual health and happiness. Believing that financial freedom alone solves everything may prove untrue for some individuals. Sacrificing other areas for financial success may not be a viable strategy. Eventually, one must leave it all behind. If one believes that life is predetermined, it may alleviate fears and stresses, but it's crucial to recognize that we have agency in our decisions. From healthy habits to life-altering choices, such as suicide, individuals exercise their autonomy. Believing otherwise may provide comfort, but reality dictates that choices impact health and lifespan. As individuals, we hold significant importance in our lives. Our decisions influence our daily experiences, regardless of belief systems. This begins after inhaling our life-sustaining oxygen, highlighting our shared powers. Despite God's invisibility, our beliefs shape our significant realities. They should aid in living a high-quality life. Excessive fear can lead to a slow death from stress. Recklessness can hasten one's demise. Mortal life isn't just about survival, it's about living with quality. Regardless of beliefs, if a belief system enhances life quality, it's the right one. If it diminishes quality, one must responsibly amend or change it. Changing religion or embracing atheism won't necessarily solve individual problems. Incorporating spiritual health into daily life may foster inner peace. Regardless of difficulty, striving for quality is essential in mortal life. In society, equality and rights are essential, necessitating oversight by a robust system of rules, justice, and law enforcement. No longer are we in primitive times. Security ensures dignity for all. Problems arise when politics supplant justice to favor specific groups. Given our evolutionary nature, adhering to outdated justice systems worldwide proves challenging. Evolution requires evolving alongside it. Practices like homosexuality, once contentious in Western cultures, are now less so. Today, government oversight extends to alcohol, gambling, and cannabis. Yet, not long ago and even now, police pursue those selling these substances. Such shifts reflect how group politics reshape crime as society evolves. Humanity is currently navigating a rapid and transformative era. Societies vary greatly in their evolutionary stages, shaped by our regulations and empowered by the internet, which dissolves boundaries. This fast-paced period is sparking conservatism and protectionism, fueling conflict. Once the Pandora's box is opened, it's impossible to reseal, prolonging this ongoing clash. How far will our differences take us? Can we continue on the path of evolution? Much of this hinges on education, which is why conservatives fear widespread access to education. They oppose free education, often associating it politically with socialism, much like healthcare and social assistance. In my view, an educated person tends to become more moderate and peaceful than their uneducated counterparts. Education spans various facets of life. Some excel emotionally, financially, physically, or in a well-rounded manner. Yet, regardless of the level of formal schooling, we all share the common physicality of existence, with needs for sustenance and love. Individual education ranks as the second most crucial factor after health, happiness, hunger, and love. The curtailment of individual human rights by those in power is evident worldwide. Each person needs the freedom to be equal to maintain self-esteem. Without it, we devalue ourselves and succumb to mob mentality, a primary driver of wars and societal issues after the erosion of love. The education of individuals forms the bedrock of a thriving society. Rather than treating education as a commodity, it should be mandatory and freely accessible. While this may sound socialist, it transcends politics. Bring students from across the globe, educate them to become teachers, and send them back so they can propagate education. Better yet, leverage the internet for widespread, free education, allowing people to pursue their dreams without leaving loved ones behind. I believe all developed nations should implement a global poverty, health, and education tax, fostering solutions to extremism, promoting collective evolution, and nurturing harmonious coexistence as humans. To combat terrorism effectively, make education universally accessible, fostering a shift in individual allegiance from exclusive groups to humanity. Regarding free education, Fidel Castro's recent passing sparked conflicting opinions, with some lauding him as a hero and others condemning him as a villain. Even Justin Trudeau faced criticism for praising him. Despite any dictatorial actions or atrocities, Castro prioritized educating his people. While I don't condone dictatorship, monarchies, or authoritarian regimes, including socialist ones that disregard individual rights, all aspects, race, color, nationality, or religion, should adhere to the principles of equal human rights. One of the key themes of this blog is that individuals should align with humanity as a whole rather than narrow groups. Canada provides a good example. A diverse populace united as Canadians, living harmoniously under shared regulations. The next step is embracing humanity collectively. Imagine the potential if everyone contributed their unique talents and lived under equal human rights. Even groups like drug cartels can foster loyalty. Dictators like Hitler, Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, Bashar al-Assad, or Fidel Castro often attract followers who view them as providential leaders, while others regard them as malevolent. How can we change this dynamic? Democratically elected leaders can also commit spiritual crimes under the guise of group loyalty. This phenomenon stems from the politics of identity. While deposing them hasn't historically advanced humanity, scrutinizing their actions reveals their motivations. If they fail to benefit humanity as a whole, their policies are purely political. While such leaders may benefit their group, they're prone to committing spiritual crimes in the name of group loyalty. Reflecting on human history, the English, French, Roman empires, and figures like Genghis Khan, as well as contemporary entities like the Russian and American empires, oscillate between heroism and villainy in the name of group loyalty. The solution lies in embracing humanity as a whole, refraining from depriving others of love in the name of nationality or religion. I admit I'm an idealist, hoping technology, especially the internet, will facilitate global education dissemination. Educated individuals who know how to fish no longer need perpetual aid. Hate, division, and security walls aren't solutions to our problems, love is. Attempting to rob others of love has failed us for millennia. Rather than treating reciprocity as a tax game, our tax system should promote spirituality, allowing people to see the tangible impact of their contributions. They should witness firsthand the positive outcomes of their reciprocal actions. Reciprocity shouldn't be a burden or exploited by the able-bodied. Charities ebb and flow with financial insecurity, hence, a steady stream of goodwill is vital. If implemented as a tax, some may resent it, yet understanding the impact of their contributions for humanity is as crucial as it's needed. Non-reciprocating individuals, regardless of their capability, breed resentment among taxpayers. Therefore, tax collectors and spenders must implement programs ensuring able-bodied individuals work and comprehend reciprocity. Generational reliance on social assistance indicates systemic flaws overlooked due to education gaps. We must acknowledge and address root causes such as mental health or systemic abuse. Each person has a duty to reciprocate, constituting the game of life, a balance of physical and spiritual existence where we fulfill our purpose as God's cells. We're tasked with sustaining the larger organism, ensuring its vitality. As individuals and groups, we must adhere to the golden rule: if it hurts you, it hurts all humanity. Thus, refrain from actions against others that you dislike for yourself or loved ones. When politics intertwines religion with justice systems, it halts evolutionary progress, as many religions uphold ancient, immutable doctrines. The associated politics absolve enforcers, attributing any wrongdoing to the absence of divine intervention. Thus, human group politics prevail unchecked. If God entrusted us with responsibility, then our actions and governance shape perceptions of divine justice. To fathom God's wisdom, we must evolve, assume responsibility, and maximize our ever-expanding potential. If we shirk responsibility, forsake potential, and avoid assuming accountability as individuals, we'll never unlock our expansive potential. Humans, not God, undermine individual endeavors. We're endowed with evolutionary traits and boundless potential by our Creator, empowering us to fulfill our intended purpose. We have the capacity to inflict immense harm, burning someone alive or annihilating entire cities or countries, irrespective of innocence. A spiritually evolved being cannot afford even a speck of innocent blood on their conscience. In contrast, political fanatics often commit spiritual crimes in the name of their groups. However, the evolution of humanity isn't dictated by a small segment of the population, it's a collective responsibility. This is what God intended for us, compelling us all to evolve to a higher level and embrace humanity as a whole. It's time to overcome the insecurities sown by our political groups. Let's unite globally through the internet to aid each other, regardless of geographic location. As humanity, we should extend a helping hand wherever needed. Our fundamental issue lies in the politics of group identity. Today, it's imperative to recognize that we share one planet. Global challenges, like climate change, pandemics, cybercrime, and business demands, necessitate global coordination for justice and equal human rights. International efforts have eradicated practices like human sacrifice, promoted marriage equality for LGBTQ+ individuals, and abolished sati in India. While progress is evident, political obstacles slow our advancement, particularly in terms of group identity politics. Traditional beliefs clash with modern global realities. Our challenges stem from the human psyche, from hormonal influences to nationalist politics, religions, and personal struggles. With trillions of cells and bacteria, our individual complexities are profound. Mastering even basic life tasks can feel like assuming a CEO's role. While ancestral wisdom simplifies life, it may overlook the intricacies of human existence, leaving one submerged in the politics of group identity. Questioning is essential for learning and growth. Humanity's questioning nature has driven our progress. Unfortunately, some individuals claim absolute knowledge or follow such claims blindly. As humans, our innate curiosity compels us to evolve. Nationalism and religion haven't stifled our quest for knowledge and growth. Our potential for learning knows no bounds, expanding through generations. Therefore, questioning is intrinsic to our nature. Fear of the unknown and allegiance to group identities are unnatural. Staying confined within group boundaries is unsustainable. Criticizing others based solely on philosophical differences, rather than factual bases, is inherently political. Individually addressing personal issues or seeking help from trusted professionals aligns with our evolutionary path. As evolving beings, our understanding continually evolves, encompassing diverse fields like science, medicine, and religion. Embracing our questioning nature ensures we evolve in harmony with our innate potential, rather than adhering blindly to ancestral traditions. Dictators are victims of unchecked group loyalty, committing spiritual crimes against dissenters. Yet, democratically elected governments and purportedly religious nations also perpetrate injustices in the name of group identity. Until individuals recognize our common humanity, spirituality, and connection to a higher purpose, enlightenment will elude us in addressing humanity's challenges.